And we will invite now one of the very, very respectable leaders in the modern times in India, of Padma Shri, Dr. Ramani sir.
It is our great privilege to invite business leader Padma Shri, Dr. R.V. Ramani. Dr. R.V. Ramani, founder and managing trustee of Shankara Eye Foundation, India, has been awarded the prestigious Padma Shri Award from the Government of India in recognition of his work in the field of medical service. In the year 1977, Dr. R.V. Ramani set up Shri Kanchi Kamakoti Medical Center, which later became Shri Kanchi Kamakoti Medical Trustee, a registered charitable trust in India. Through this trust, he, along with his wife, Dr. Radha, established a network of 11 super specialty eye hospitals across 7 states in India, and 2 more are under construction. Dr. R.V. Ramani is also a member of Board of Governor, Medical Council of India. Dr. Ramani has been practicing breath mindfulness meditation formally for the past 3 months. Now we welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, Sister, for that introduction. Dear friends in this like-minded group of people, I'm aware that most of you are highly accomplished. I'm aware most of you are highly accomplished entrepreneurs, professionals, and businessmen. But nevertheless, since our master Chandra requested, I thought of sharing with certain amount of pardonable pride whatever has been happening in our institution for the last 4 decades. The name of the institution is Shankara Eye Foundation, India. It all started with the blessings of the Kanchi Shankaracharya. We are privileged that the whole activity is the Sankalpa of the Acharyas. We have in this group of like-minded people our chairman, Dr. S.V. Balasubramaniam. He is the friend, philosopher, and guide for most of us in the organization, leading us at every stage. We also have some of our very close supporters and pillars, like Dr. D.R. Karthikeyan and Mr. Balasundaram. They're all patrons of the movement. Our field of activity is healthcare. We chose healthcare. Health is a fundamental human right. It is an attainable social goal. Health development is an integral part of social development. So we chose healthcare. And in healthcare, being a very vast field, we chose eye care as our focus area of attention. 43 years have completed. Over 5.5 million rural people have been examined in various villages across the country. Over 2 million totally free eye surgeries have been performed for the needy. Over 6 million students have been examined for undetected visual defects, children, and provided the timely treatment. When we look at it, we realize there have been certain important steps in the evolution of the organization, which I would like to share with you, which I'm sure most of you would have come across in your own field of activity. The first is choosing the right cause. It has to be a need-based cause. And as I said, we chose blindness. Why? 45 million in India are visually handicapped. 12 million are totally blind. And this is 1/3 of the world's population of blind. The irony is, 80% of them, they don't have to be blind at all. It is either preventable or curable blindness. Lack of quality eye care, non-availability, inaccessibility, and non-affordability. So rural India, many are living in darkness. So we chose a cause where there is a felt need. This cause should come into force, and there's a felt need. Then we said we should have clear goals, no ambiguity. We chose 3 separate areas. First is the preventive eye care. Someone, before they become blind, how can we prevent? I'm sure some of you might be aware that anywhere between 6 to 15% of school-going children have undetected visual defects, which the child, the parents, the teachers, none of them are aware of. So in the preventive eye care, we chose rainbow as our activity. Next, we went on to the curative eye care. Someone is visual handicap. Okay, let us just try and set it right, cure it. Like, for example, the cataract blindness. They're huge. 60 to 70% of the blindness is due to cataract. So the curative blindness, we took it up and we said, let us go on an outreach model. Let us not wait for the patient to come to us. Let us go and search for him or her, bring them and provide the treatment. Third area is the rehabilitative area. There are people who are incurably blind. Instead of telling them nothing can be done, it's all lost for you, it's total darkness, can we revive them? Can we rehabilitate them? Make them live a dignified life like anybody else? So we chose rehabilitation as the third area of activity. And in the beginning itself, we were taught, thanks to the farsightedness of our chairman SCP, he used to tell me, Doc, don't plan for the next 5 years. Don't plan for the next 10 years. Plan for the next 50 years. So there has to be a far-sighted plan. You can accomplish it in stages, but have a master plan and proceed systematically. The most important parameter in an organization like this is the team. That is the software. Without the human resource, nothing can be carried forward. So building a team is the essential part of any organization. The teamwork has to be inculcated. We said teamwork need not be unanimity of ideas, but it necessarily means unanimity of purpose. People with unanimity of purpose, they might have different ideas, but make them together, mold them. When a young doctor or a paramedic or a staff come to us, we tell them that we give them 4 important things, what they are looking for. First and foremost is job opportunities. They should have enough job to do. They should be busy throughout the day at that age. Give them enough and more work. Number 2, give them the job satisfaction. They cannot be doing a job which is practiced, say, 30, 40 years back. Give them the state-of-the-art infrastructure. Make them practice the best of the technology and get the best of the results. So job satisfaction. Give them scope to grow. Anything which is living in this world has to grow. Even a plant has to grow. So give them a scope to grow, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years hence. This is how you're going to grow. And a very decent monetary compensation. Ultimately, everyone for themselves, their family, they need a compensation, good compensation. And above all, at the end of it, to complete it, build a pride of belonging. A pride of belonging so that they feel, I belong to this movement, I belong to this organization. And that we, in our organization, call it as the Shankara culture. We also realize that the human resource development is not a one-time affair. It has to be an ongoing process. So we established Shankara Academy of Vision, our capacity building arm, where we train not only the postgraduates as a teaching institution in ophthalmology, we train the optometrists, the paramedical staff, the entire gamut of human resource. From a manpower, make them all as a human asset, human capital. Just to tell you the vision care technicians, how do we do? Whenever we start a hospital, go to the surrounding villages, identify girls from poorer families who have just passed +2 and bring them for a diploma course, no capitation fee, no tuition fee, pay them a stipend so that they don't have to train their family for those 2 years and then give them the diploma at the end of the course, give them a job-oriented and a job-guaranteed vocational training. So we develop a committed workforce, our human resource capacity building. For all this, the robust organizational structure. It is a satsang. You have the like-minded people in an organization who do not have any other agenda, then the organization grows. They think only of the organization. So whether it is the board of trustees headed by our chairman or the steering council friends of mine from different walks of life who are all leaders, accomplished leaders, highly cultured people, giving us the periodic advice, all in a honorary capacity. Then the second line, identified the second line in mid-30s, identified them 10 years back, started molding them. And they're the people who take, any movement should have a very strong second line of people who can take forward the vision and the mission of the organization. We also said process and systems are very important in an organization. As we grow, without process and systems, most of the IT people would know much more than what I can talk about it. But what we did in Shankara, every institution functionally we divided into 7 verticals. For each vertical, we brought down 7 key performance indicators. On 1st of every month, every institution's unit head senses the balance scorecard for all the 7 activities. So a very clear picture, what's happening, what is not happening, where is the deficiency. And we made all the hospitals connected 24/7 thanks to the technology. We also realized that a movement, even if it is a charitable movement, it has to be self-sustaining. It cannot be just dependent on donations forever to grow. So we designed a unique model of 80:20, where 80% of the beneficiaries are the rural poor who get totally free eye care. The balance 20% of the rich and the middle income, the affordable sections, they pay for the treatment, thereby make it a self-sustaining model. Support from the society automatically, when there is a good cause, when there is a transparent approach, people come forward automatically. They are looking for opportunity. And that is the way the society join hands. And above all is the divine grace. That higher intelligence who is always ready to help, then things happen. Friends, reward, though we do not do things expecting the results, but rewards always encourages us. I would like to share with this group of friends over here the kind of reward what we have been getting way back in 1996. Just to give you one example. There is a child from a small little village near Vellore, baby Michael. Child unfortunately lost the mother soon after the birth of the child. The child was born deep inside the Bargur forest, which is bordering Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. And the illiterate tribals thought he is an evil child. And to cure him, they poured a concoction on him and he was blinded. One of our volunteers from abroad, Jennifer Travis, saw him, brought him back to Shankara in 1996. Those days we were getting 1 pair of eyes as donation once in a week. We examined Michael, one eye is totally gone. The other eye had just very little chance of getting back vision, just 2%. We kept Michael for 3 months, got a good quality donor eye, did the transplant, corneal transplant. 3rd day after the bandages were removed, the child was inside the room. He just slowly opened the door to see what the kid was doing. Believe me, my dear friends, the child was sitting on the cot. He was keeping his hand in front of his operated eye and he was just moving it up and down. The child was seeing light and movement for the first time in his life. Could you imagine what would have been our feeling at that time? Millions will not give you that satisfaction. That is the kind of reward it encourages us. You give vision to a child, you give next 80 to 90 years of productive life. You give vision to an adult, you make him or her the breadwinner of the family. You give vision to an elderly couple, you make them independent for their day-to-day activities. They don't have to strain others in the family, other breadwinners in the family. So this is something which has been encouraging us. Friends, we all should, the universe gives us a lot of opportunity. World, there are a lot of opportunities. We have to look for opportunities. Nature is the best teacher. The rain, the drops of water that comes from the sky, it just falls on that particular shell which is open and then turns into a beautiful pearl. In order to receive that drop of water and make it into a pearl, the shell should have an open mind, should be waiting for it to take the opportunity. Similarly, we all should look for opportunities. And whenever that good opportunity comes in our life, take it and develop it. Friends, Right from our childhood, we have been said there has to be a healthy mind and a healthy body. This is what we have been hearing time and again. And what our Master Chandra often says, it is the physical quotient first. And then you go on to the intelligence quotient, where you try and develop your knowledge, acquire enough and more. Then you reach a status, get into the emotional quotient, develop good relationship around that satsang around, and then the spiritual quotient. At that stage, it becomes a meaningful life where we can make a difference to the society. The realizing the inherent divinity in man and making it manifest in the way of life is what is ultimately all about the exercise we are doing. Last time, I read a small little note by Martina. It is so powerful. I would like to read it for all of you. Maybe permit me a few more minutes. Martina Navratilova, a star tennis player, once she was asked, how do you maintain your focus, physique, and sharp game even at this age? She gave a humble reply. The ball doesn't know how old I am. You need to stop yourself from stopping yourself. Yes, you need to stop yourself from stopping yourself. Even game in life is actually played on a 6-inch ground, the space between your 2 ears. The key factor to performing well in life and in every arena for that matter is the ability to control the quality and quantity of our internal dialogue. Performance is our internal potential minus the internal interference. Meditation helps us. How can I streamline the internal dialogue? That is the essence of meditation. Helps us a lot. How can I streamline the internal dialogue within me? Friends, we have taken up this program because we would like to become more evolved people, develop ourselves, develop our friends, develop our society. But I always feel that there is enough scope for all of us to smile and laugh. So I would like to, as I conclude towards the end, I would like to conclude with a humorous anecdote. One of the very important quality, just to make everyone light, one of the very important quality in life, which all of us should learn, is patience. How to be patient. In our field of medical practice, we have to be very, very patient when we deal with our patients. The other day, a friend of mine, he had a small little cut injury with the finger. It was bleeding. He looked around. He wanted to have a dressing. There is a doctor's clinic. There are 40 people sitting there, 40, 50 people. He walked in. The moment he walked in, one nurse came and pushed him onto the bench and said, please sit down. He said, I'm bleeding finger. She was very busy. She went away. Within a couple of minutes, the second nurse came and removed his shirt and banian. He tried to protest. She would not listen. She just removed his shirt and banian and went away. The next few minutes, the third nurse came and kept a thermometer in his mouth. This fellow looked around. There are 40 guys like him, all with their shirt and banian out and a thermometer in the mouth. He could not hold himself. Then the fourth nurse came, removed the thermometer for the first person. Very religiously, she entered the temperature, came up to him and removed the thermometer. He could not hold himself. He shouted at the fellow sitting next to him, what the hell is this? Is it a mental asylum? I came for a cut injury and this is what they did for me. I'm going to complain to the chief doctor. That man said, his neighbor said, be patient. Look at me. I am the postman for this region for the past 25 years. Every day I come, they remove my shirt and banian, they keep a thermometer. At the end of that, I give my post and go back. This is for the past 25 years. Just for one day, why should you become so impatient? My dear friends, actually patience is the essence of life. We all need to be very patient because there are different circumstances. I conclude, the time is up. I conclude, I was an exchange student in 1980. At that time, my host family in US, I just saw a beautiful definition of life. The famous thinker Harry Emerson beautifully defines life. He says, what is it to have lived? He says, to laugh often and much, to win the appreciation of honest critics, to endure the betrayal of false friends, to win over the affection of children, to love beauty, to make this world a bit better, whether by a green garden patch or a redeemed social condition. To know that even one life breathes easier because of us, that is to have succeeded. Dear friends, there are millions of opportunities to make millions of lives smile and be happy. And meditation is a great tool to further complete our process, perfect ourselves, get into good satsang, and see what we can in our own little way do to the world at large. Chandra, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to interact with like-minded friends in this wonderful group. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Sir, thank you so much. That's an amazing speech. There are so many dimensions to your speech. Your message is so many dimensions. On one side, we know exactly, I mean, the way you put a 11-point formula, I wrote it down, and I'll type it for our team and then we'll set it. But the 11-point formula, no matter what it is, a business, and then you highlighted a few things around even bringing the team together. You said you just took it out. You said the moment we align people on a purpose and you hire them, you bring them on a purpose, then everything else is gone. They're already aligned. And so there is that dimension about just to be a successful business, what needs to be done. I think this is amazing. Then you said non-profit, the passion with which after 43 years, the passion with which you spoke about it in 10 crisp minutes, it just shows that the amount of passion that is there to drive. And then you mentioned non-profit need not be just something else that you just run on the side. And we have a lot to learn. I mean, I can for sure know that it's non-profit that I'm part of it. We have a lot to learn from you in the way you're running it and having the same level of scorecards and mechanisms to see that the quality improves. It's just amazing. And sir, so your messages are multi-dimensional, so we are going to cherish this. Thank you so much. And I would like to invite chairman for this foundation too, SVB sir. I mean, it is much more than meditation. I mean, this is what I always say, right? The born meditators and successful leaders are born meditators. It all comes from our past. We are reincarnating again and again. So naturally it's coming from there. So it doesn't have to be that one has a meditation because you are built into that meditative nature. And thank you, sir, for acknowledging what we are doing. And then it's been very encouraging for me and from all my team and everybody to have you be part of us. And I'm deeply grateful to SVB sir and Karthikeyan sir for this whole opportunity and awareness. Sir, SVB sir.
Good morning, Chandra. I'm very happy to hear the experiences of both Mr. Suresh and Dr. Ramani. I would rather say I'm fortunate to have associated with Dr. Ramani. No, both of them, both Dr. Ramani and Dr. Radha, they came out very successfully with the gold medal in their medical education. Had they opted to go in for private practice, I tell you, they could have earned millions and millions of money, added many assets to their personal life. But both of them choose to do service, that service with quality, not just for the sake of doing service or social activity. They do it with the best of their efforts. I can say that the eye hospitals, which Dr. Ramani is now running, can be compared with any international hospital in the eye care. The systems, the management system that he has now brought in can also be compared with any international IT companies. And maybe it will take long time to explain how the hospital day-to-day working is going on. As he rightly said, that unique model, 80-20, 80% of the patients being treated with the money collected from the private patients is something I think which nobody ever thought of it, and it is working beautifully well. And though the hospitals are only now going to further in many other places, the demand for Dr. Ramani coming into many states, I would rather say it is very, very, very great. The chief ministers are calling Dr. Ramani, please come to our state. We give you a free land, all facilities to put up the hospital. And same thing with the private sector also. I don't want to mention. Maybe I may mention one example, Larsen Tibro, the managing director, Subramaniam. He came by a separate flight to Coimbatore to meet Dr. Ramani, requesting to put up an hospital on behalf of their chairman at Surat. The entire expenditure, to put up an hospital, it cost about now minimum of 50 to 60 crores. They will fund the entire project and ask him to come up with put up the hospital. Such is the case for the demand for the great work that Dr. Ramani and his wife and his team of doctors are doing so far as the eye care is concerned. That is why the government of India recognized him with the Padma Shri. Not only that, much more than that, he has been selected as a member of the Board of Governors of Medical Council of India, which normally is not possible for any ordinary person to get into it unless he has proficiency, he has got the capacity to recommend to various methods to be taken in the medical field in India. And such is the greatness which Ramani has been able to achieve through his service, social service, without any expectation for his self-growth so far as the material fact is concerned. I'm very happy to be associated with him, with Dr. Ramani, and the finer qualities that he has got to bring a team, not only among the doctors, among the friends, among the so-called, people who are willing to fund the project, people like, from many from India, many from abroad, like Infosys, like so many other big shots from Bombay. They are just funding it. The money is not a problem for Dr. Ramani to put up the hospital. Only thing to train the people from various parts of India in the particular locality where he is putting up the hospital is so great. I think to emulate him is one thing which will make India the great among the countries in the world. With his few remarks, because I can go on talking about him. He is about qualities. Very, very capable. A person lovable. He is a pride to Coimbatore. That's what I want to close my remarks. Thank you, Chandra, for giving me the
Wonderful,
opportunity.
sir. What a fitting acknowledgement of Dr. Ramani sir's contributions as well as the personality. I think it's so great to know more about him the way you put it. Thank you so much. Pride of Coimbatore, pride of India. Sir, Karthikeyan sir, we can close the session with your comments, sir.
What else can be added? Brilliant exposition by Dr. Ramani and a beautiful summing up by SVB. The great partnership between the two of them. They have made Shankara Hospital as a model institution for the whole world, not only for India. Yes, it's not only pride of Coimbatore, I can only say it's the pride of the whole nation, and for any volunteer service organization in the world, I would say that. See, giving eyesight is as important, valuable as giving life, actually. Without eyesight, there is no life. And they will be able to restore the eyesight of millions of people. Millions of people. See the man's dedication, competence, leadership, and yet so humble, so simple, with a lot of values lived. I mentioned to you the other day also, when I went to Panchipuram recently, I had a long privilege of having a long conversation with Shankara. He spoke so high of Dr. Ramani and his services now. You know, actually we didn't tell you because shortage of time. See, they have no problem of finding money. As he said, people want, now you know very well organizations running around for money. But here, people come and ask him, please come and start this hospital. And this state, for example, it costs say 50 crores in a state. Part of it comes from the NRIs from the state. And the rest for just no time. And then, but he doesn't start just like that. He takes people from that particular state, local people, local language and all that, takes them to Coimbatore, train them, not only in technicalities, but also the culture of the organization, which is far more important than the culture. The values are to be retained. After that, when the hospital is established, they are sent back there to the state because local language is very important. They are comfortable along with people from senior people from Coimbatore Hospital itself. I've been to a number of places, amazing work they do. They are the most respected there. As SVP was telling, it's one of the most modern ideal hospitals and most sought after. Is a amazing person. Teamwork is important. Teamwork not only in professional efficiency, but the values and the culture. That's why Shankara High Hospital means, you know, people think, well, that's the ultimate you can get. As you rightly said, he and his wonderful wife, Dr. Radha, they just two individuals, and with finding the most deserving chairman like SVP, and they have formed a big team now. They're everywhere. They become a role model for institutions, voluntary institutions, particularly health-based institutions, the whole world. And we are all proud of him. Dr. Ramani is a very, he is only part of it you heard today. His work 100 times more than what he shared today. So, Chandra, we are lucky to have him as a regular meditator. There is nothing more promotion for your project. A man like Dr. Ramani or SVB attending programs every day, that itself is good enough, nothing more to be said. There is no need for further promotion. If they find it valuable, so that adds your own value, you should give you tremendous satisfaction, more dedication for what you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Always your acknowledgement and encouraging words, and absolutely the way you said it. So we will learn more from Ramani sir then, because you said what he shared is so little. So we'll have to learn more from sir in some day where we'll have a longer session. It's wonderful, dear friends. So it's an amazing to learn from our very humble leaders. Karthikeyan sir by himself. If we are all together, it's because Karthikeyan sir by himself is such a great humble leader. And sir, it starts from there. So very deeply grateful to you, and thank you, Ramani sir, for all your excellent message. I think pretty inspiring comments today, and I loved it. As an entrepreneur, if anybody wanting to even do anything, doesn't matter. I think the points that you put across one by one clearly, just amazing. We just follow them. I think we're going to be having huge success in whatever we do.
Some of our friends, I see Bharat, we belong to Rotary Central, which Chandra you addressed.
Yes, sir.
Bharat Shah is my Rotary friend in Rotary Central. Rotary is a very, very huge organization which is totally with us in Shankara for the past almost 35 years now. And a lot of people like him in Coimbatore are involved in a big way. And he's a very popular chartered accountant, financial expert. Like that, there are a lot of people in their own capacity, whatever way they can participate, they get involved.
Sir, it's one of those amazing times where your mind and your body come together and they're aligned perfectly. As you breathe, you come to a higher conscious level And then you have people like Dr. Ramani who give you a beautiful sutra as to how life should be conducted, not only on the business sphere, but also holistically on an entire scale, where you dedicate yourself to a cause, then identify what will give the maximum benefit to society, and then have a scientific way of doing that as good as any other business in the world. And I have seen Shankara, and my heart goes out, and can't find a person like Dr. Ramani who is totally dedicated to it and does it. I'm sure it is one of the best in the world, and people can learn from it, whether you're doing a non-profit or a profit organization. Wonderful, sir. It's been a great learning. I've met Dr. Ramani several times. Every time I learn something new from him. Fantastic, sir. And congratulate you for having him on the show.
Thank you so much, sir. Really, what Karthikeyan sir said is absolutely right words. You are in this forum. We are all lucky. And SVP sir, you like Karthikeyan sir, you all are already so much service and so much role models for us, because today really we are fortunate. When Chandra really he want to start Buddha CEO Foundation, we always want to align to that work. Really, you all came, meditation or whatever it is, but really I'll tell you today, I am really learning a lot, sir. We have to go so much journey on this path. Really, we have to learn, and we are fortunate to really and thankful to you and Ramani sir and Karthikeyan sir and SVP sir. I am really fortunate, sir. I can't explain any words because I'm really emotional now, because the way you are doing service and the way words are coming in your mouth, really, it's so connecting and touching, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Vani. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mrs. Vani.
I think we have to come to Coimbatore and visit your thing, and we have to learn so many things from you, sir. Because how you are, because it's a non-profit organization means we have to connect with the people, not that paying money they are working for us. Connecting people. Today we learned from Patri sir, that is what it is. But it's really you're all over the world you are doing means something bigger way we have to learn. Spirituality and taking group together and working, it's not an easy thing. But when you achieved in such a wonderful way, and really we have to learn so many things from you, sir. Really. Thank you, sir.
Of course, Coimbatore is huge. It is mission headquarters. But we have a hospital in Shankara Hospital in Marthahalli. That's in Bangalore. We have one in Shimoga as well. We have 2 hospitals for the state of Karnataka.
Definitely, it's such an inspiring story and journey by Dr. Ramani. Thank you very much, sir, for guiding us, right? So definitely we cannot really imagine how it's been the journey with you, right? Particularly in serving the people and serving the humanity, right? I'm still learning to be completely non-profit. I'm still working for some of the profitable ventures, but yes, definitely yes, we will do our best to support and contribute to the humanity and then support an organization like you, sir. Thank you very much. It's such a great message from your side.
Thank you, Chandra, for making Dr. Arya to speak today. Being a Sunday, everybody certainly can hear. Thank you for Mr. Shankar also for his wonderful words. I am closely associated with Shankara with whatever way it is possible. Ever since I joined Rotary in the year 2006, I become very close to Dr. RVR. Seeing at his work, I moved. He is emotionally connected. I treat him as my elder brother always. And Dr. Radha is also like my sister. And what a service, unimaginable service. And when I go there to serve food on my birthdays for the poor patients coming from the villages, you said tears. You cannot come without shedding tears. Such a experience, so many poor people. And seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Definitely, one has to go there and see how these patients are, treated. like their own mothers or own brothers, and so kindly treated. They fed nicely and taken care of nicely. Each and every patient is tested for their blood or BP or whatever it is. I can say the hospital doesn't look like uh, even like a private hospital. Much, much cleaner, much, much better than a private hospital. Though it is a charitable hospital, it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. The beautiful aroma, smell. This hospital doesn't smell at all. So much of space. Like Dr. Arya said, SVB is always insists for future. 50 years later, what it is like. So the corridors and everything is so wide, so airy, and such a beautifully constructed. And the new hospitals coming up with a lot of experience is so nicely, so passionately done, so carefully, as if building their own house. And above all, both of them as such a simple living, such a simple living. And no expensive gadgets, no expensive things. And I can say this here proudly that they are not denominated anything from Shankara. They are living their life with their own resources and purely charity. It is something very, very difficult. As we can see in this country that the name of charity, what I shouldn't talk about that. Still, I have to say it as a comparison that how people are doing as a charity. This is a real charity, and Padma Shri is a best award for him. And I pray God to give him many more years of good health and more hospitals, more services. And in fact, there are a lot of demand, as SVB has said, that to start the hospital in several states. And they are politely refusing also some cases because they know that there is a limitation. Without doing a perfect job, they don't want to simply explain. If somebody else is there in this position, they would have just grabbed, such a dedicated service. I know, I think after this meditation, still it go multifold. So thank you, Dr. Arviar sir, my elder brother, for the opportunity. And I am getting an opportunity every time when I come to Shankara to do something for the poor. That's a great opportunity I am getting. And through Rotary, we are doing a lot of projects with Shankara, and I'm proud that I am leading some of the projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Balu. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here. I'm a little emotional today after seeing Ramani sir. I have been associated with Shankara for almost like 1 year now, and my daughter was not able to see properly. And I did show to many hospitals before I went to Shankara. And I mean, there were like hospitals where the doctors were taking like 2,000 rupees, and in India it is always told that whenever the fees is high, the doctor is good. And I remember like when I first went to Shankara, I mean, the facilities nonetheless, I mean, they were very, very good. But the comfort with which the doctor saw the child, understood the problem, and gave that comfort that the child will be okay after not 1 year or 2 years, but she will be okay. I mean, I can't believe I would have got an opportunity to meet Ramani sir and such great leaders. I mean, my thank you to you. Today, my daughter is 95% okay, better just because of Ramani sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Achin. Yes, these are stories that touch our lives. We're so glad your daughter is seeing, and through these wonderful efforts of Ramani sir and team. Thank you.
Namaste, everybody. Again, I thank Chandra sir for the great sessions and for inviting such great people, and we come across. and we are very lucky to be in this session. Again and again, I thank everybody. And coming to Ramani sir, I just wanted to know this ID. I mean, I wanted to be associated with him personally also. And really, the way sir said about far-sighted plan, that is really encouraging for us, and how to lead a team, that is really very encouraging, sir. And if we have a far-sighted plan only, we can work. And if we catch hold of the team in a proper way, the way you have told, then the result will be very good. That's what I understand. And we will learn from it and we will develop from it. Thank you very much for your sharing.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude towards Chandra sir to organize this program, and so that we could meet all these wonderful masters. And as other master said that we don't need to go to the temple to see or meet the God. We have God here in front of us. And that's all I just wanted to say. And I was just holding myself with all these emotions and listening to all these masters, Sureshji and Dr. Ramani. The work they are doing for this humanity is like enormous. And sometimes when we see like small difficulties in our life, then listening to such masters, we feel that it is nothing. And there is much more to see in this universe. So thank you so much. I have deep gratitude towards you. And honestly, like I never like to go to the temples, and now I don't need to.
And another beautiful weekend. This is one of the best that for me personally that I've learned a lot through this today. Thank you, sir, for giving us so much time, Ramani sir. Sir, anything that you'd like to say,
Thank
Ramani
you
sir?
so much, Chandra. Thank you very much. Interacting with like-minded people is a great experience. Thank you very much.